What up? We're gonna be starting soon. Just setting up the live stream for you guys. The channel. We're gonna be talking about BDOT funnel hacking. Thanks everyone joining live. Appreciate you guys joining. Gotta hit him with that Lion King. What up? Alright guys, I'm gonna turn that music down. That was like way too loud. I've been jamming out to some Lion King. So, what's going on? I think it's the first time I've streamed to my personal Facebook page. For those of you who just added me on Facebook, I just like to do introductions. So I run a digital marketing agency here in Atlanta, Georgia. So my friends wondering what I've been up to. Yeah, I've been doing this. So I've been posting a lot of the stream stuff to Blend Logic Designs. You can check that out. I'll leave some comments in the link below on the live stream. But this is the first one I'm testing out doing on my personal one. And actually, I probably won't do it again because you can't embed it to your personal website. And what I mean by that is, like usually right here, after I go live, I could embed it. And so what I was going to do is put it on this one website. You can see it here at blendlogic.com/livestream. But it's not working, so I can't do it. So I'm probably just going to keep streaming to my Blend Logic page, which you could see here. So for everyone joining live, appreciate you guys joining. What we're going to be covering today, and if you guys are new to this, I do a digital marketing group tailored towards basketball trainers, and it is called Digital Marketing Ballers. I'll leave a link below so you guys can check it out. But essentially, today we're going to keep going. On Fridays, I do a funnel breakdown. And so who we're going to be covering is BDOT. This guy, he has over almost 1 million subscribers on YouTube. He was actually just hooping at the CRC on Wednesday. So I didn't really get to chat with him, but I did do a shout out to J Law, one of my first clients, who I've seen you guys have connected before. And so for everyone new, if you guys don't know what funnel hacking is, it's essentially just reverse engineering success. So in this particular aspect of it, it was made popular by Russel, and he, in my opinion, with some of the books he's shared, is like one of the first persons who has really brought that up to light of that anything put out digitally, you can reverse engineer and do it. And then I had my own platforms like Keys to Success, or my whole channel, my whole blog is just for the sole purpose of that anyone who sees someone do something and doesn't believe it's possible to have a different mindset, a different reframe, and be like, okay, what is actually happening and how can I do that as well? So I just want to make sure that all my stuff is working here. I got the live stream. I got on my other thing. I'm supposed to have, where's Twitch? Oh, right here. So I got some viewers on Twitch. If you guys are new to live streaming, basically it's a way to interact with me. So it is, 11:30, 2018, 12:30, 12:28. After this, I'm probably going to go board. I just got an electric skateboard. Going to go ride with my friends. And so I'm going to use a Twitch marker here. Discussion starts here. Make sure that went in. So yeah, let's get started. Thanks to everyone joining live. If you guys are joining through Facebook, I'm not sure if the comments are going to come in. So there's other platforms I use to communicate with me, such as Twitch, YouTube, all the jazz. Let me just check because I don't know if anyone's commented. But yep, we're going to get started. So I want to share a personal story of the first time I met him. And then let me just leave a comment. Thanks for joining live. I want to see if it appears on my screen. Oh, it does. Cool. But yeah, so I met Brandon, I think like 3 years ago. He was, at the time, he wasn't actually like viral yet, I don't think. And he was, I remember I went and chatted with him when he was playing at the courts. And I basically was like, he was sharing his Instagram DMs with like a couple guys. And I went over and was like, hey, what's all the fuss about? and he was just showing me like all the people who are sliding into his DM. Basically, it was a bunch of girls, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. Like, how's that happening? And he like looked at me and he's like, bro, I'm Vine famous. And so at the time, I didn't really know what Vine was. I think it's expired now. It was just like a platform, a video platform that you could use to make like 15-second clips or something like that. And so like, I was talking to him about it, and basically, I mean, if you look at his profile now, you'll see what he has, like 1.6 million followers on Instagram, almost a million subscribers on. I guess I'll subscribe. Oh, I thought that would be the one click to go to a million. That'd be sick. A million on YouTube and all his other platforms as well. And essentially, there's like two parts I want to bring up from telling like that origin story. Is that for like when he was here on I think it was Wednesday when I played basketball. I'll have to double check that. You can check my Instagram story. One of my buddies, Chris, was saying like, I don't understand why people can make millions off Instagram followers. I don't understand how people can make it a business and stuff like that. And I was explaining to him like, because as a digital marketing agency owner, it's what I do for my clients now. Essentially, the thing that I want to take away with that story of him being Vine famous first is this idea that people just believe that when you like, people just end up there. Like they just got it, right? Like before he was Instagram famous, before he was YouTube famous, like before he was hitting up like J-Law and all that stuff, and everyone you meet who's successful, right? He told me he was Vine famous before. So I haven't found his Vine profile because Vine deleted it, but I assume it's essentially what you see here on his Instagram, was that it was just a bunch of content posted over and over of different like of value, right, of what his brand is going to be about. And so he took his success from, so if you don't even know his story, basically he doesn't even have a website, but basically from what my friends tell me, he plays professionally, I think in Australia, and he's done international ball. So again, I tell you guys, in keys to success, or the reason I target basketball trainers is because the success you find in any like fitness or sports related thing will translate to other areas in your life. So I'm assuming this is like, it's the same pattern I find with most successful people, is that he went from being able to play professionally at that high a level, and then he took that, in my opinion, what I assume it is, I'd have to bring him on the show or interview him to confirm this, but basically it's like, okay, so I know how to be successful in basketball, so it's going to be the same thing if I'm trying to launch my personal brand. If you haven't watched any of his stuff, he's actually he's a NBA impersonator, so he goes for the comedy approach. And I bring that up as well because when I was first starting my career, like working corporate, people would say like for those of you who know me personally, like I kind of joke around a lot. And one of my buddies, Alex, was like, we were playing basketball, and he's like, Alan, I can't imagine what it's like working like in corporate life, because you're just like the side I see of you of how like carefree or whatever, right, like funny, is like I can't imagine people like you working corporate or being serious. And I see that a lot with like more clients I take on, or when I encourage people to go in front of the camera. It's like there's this framework that people have that prevents you from, I guess, putting out your true self. But like yes, sometimes I'm serious, but yes, sometimes I like to relax and chill or be funny, right? And there's things holding people back from like revealing all sides of themselves, that I wanted to do this Funnel Hack Friday on BDOT because my basketball trainer clients I bring on, right? If like I want you to have the mindset that if he can do this with just pure relentlessness and consistency, and he could do it from an angle of being funny, right? Then there's no reason why your personality or your, like, even if you're trying to just be serious, right? If you could be funny, you could be serious. And it's not a matter of like, will people like you or not? It's just you have to reveal your true self, and whoever does like you, they try to resonate with that authenticity. So that's something I just put in the keys to success. If you check that out, the last one I posted was on Simon Sinek, and one of the things was about being authentic. So if you guys are able to kind of get used to speaking in front of the camera and then just providing value, that is something that can help you guys a lot. So I thought I had the tweet But yeah, let's go into the Jamboard, and yeah, it's over here. Okay, so what we're gonna be talking about from a high level is how you could, like, because he doesn't really have a big funnel, he only does like the top level of a social media / business funnel. We're gonna talk about how you could optimize influencers to grow your brand. And then we're going to talk about how you would want to optimize it, like not just from a social media aspect, but take it to the next level. So how to improve / funnel people to buy. And then, you know, you'll see as we break it down, essentially how, like, even if you don't get into making funnels and all the stuff that make people buy, how just at the top level, if you just excel at what you do, you can, like, absolutely crush it. So what I wanted to share with you is from my research, you know, he had already had some success and fame, but one of the first posts, wait, let me change this. So I'm going to start talking about this at, what is the time on the stream? 12:28. All right, guys. So cool thing, you guys could go on blendlaunch.com/livejam. If you guys want to interact with me, I offer this, or if anyone watching this on team replay, you guys could see this of me doing this Jamboard. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Anyone could join. Anyone is free to interact. But yeah, this is happening right now. So let's talk about BDOT. So when was this? July 2015. So his strategy, and it's still a valid strategy that you could do today, is you reach out to people who have higher influence than you do. And in this case, it was Russel Westbrook, who plays for OKC, for those of you who are not familiar with him. Essentially, so at this, right now, Russel Westbrook has 5.8 million followers. And right here, it's the same thing. So some guy, I don't know who this guy is, JID. I assume he's a rapper. I don't, like, follow the rap scene that much. But yeah, look, so Russel Westbrook retweeted this guy, right? And this guy has 160,000 followers, right? So by Russel Westbrook retweeting him, it allows this 5.8 million people to at least be exposed to your brand. So now whatever this guy is doing, right, if he had, you know, like, if it could encourage people to listen to his product or his thing. In terms of what happened with BDOT, is that, you know, in 2015, he got Russel Westbrook to retweet something, which I think this link isn't available anymore, but I had it pulled up in here. But you see all these comments. Look at all these people who are now exposed to BDOT like 3 years ago. It's November 30, 2018. And so basically people went and said, like, why is Russel Westbrook retweeting this guy? And then they, like, saw what he was putting out there, right? He left the digital breadcrumbs for people to see. And so what he was doing was just, like, so you can see it's like comedy, right? Or this guy isn't even, oh, BDOT retweeted this guy, right? So I don't know who Max is. So this is the guy going for that same, maybe that's BDOT, right? Going for that same approach of humor in basketball. Right, so you can see here how this, like, digital footprint is more. It's this idea of, like, collaborating and showing people your brand, that I want to also bring up to, like, my existing clients, because, like, the last thing I did for them and also in Jordan's brand was I did, like, a cross interview series for Jordan Lawley's Trainer's Guide to Success. So let me just do Jordan Lawley, and, like, Lysandra, if you ever watch this on replay. So he has 14,000 subscribers. Like, Ryan, I'm going to tag you in this so you guys can, like, understand what needs to happen. Is essentially, it's like, dude, if people are now exposed to you from Jordan's brand, right? Drew, like, people click the links, right? They're going to be looking at your profile now. So they're going to look up Two Hands Basketball. That's me, right? Right, so they're gonna click these links because I put them in there. They're gonna check you out and see, like, hey, do I want to follow this guy or not, right? And essentially, it's like with what BDOT did. Like, some people don't use social media this strategically, and so they wonder, like, okay, how did BDOT get there? Because like when you're aware of this concept of how you can like grow your brand, it's right now it's called like influencer marketing, right? So he'd not pay Westbrook to retweet him, but there is a thing where if you tag people, like he's gonna see it on his Twitter, on his phone, and there's always a chance that he could look at it and be like, huh, that's funny, I'm gonna retweet you. And so yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up is some of you guys want, like I remember some of my old clients and current clients are like, hey, how can we leverage your network at Blend Logic? Like, you know, use Jordan or how can we get an influencer in my space? And I always tell them like, hey, it doesn't matter. Like if let's say we do pay the money, right? Whatever the payment is to reach an influencer. I think it's like for some people it's like $1,000 per post, right? Even if they're exposed to your brand, is your profile set up to have maximum like input that's worth the ROI to pay for influencers? And for a lot of people, like not just my clients, we're working on that, but that's what they need to understand. It's not just getting retweeted, right? It's not just going on an interview series that all of a sudden it's going to work out, right? Like you have to set up your business, your systems to succeed. And so, you know, you can see what I'm doing. It's like I'm going live on these Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of it, right? And this is a program I use to make my thumbnails quick. I put it in my Trello board. Let's see if like look at all this stuff I'm doing, right? So that when people can see this, now that I've added some people on Facebook and I'm doing this live stream, it's possible for them to become aware of what I'm doing. Right, gotta have the customer journey mapped out. Nate, that's right, man. And so, like for me, I'm just executing on basketball trainers because I have a high vertical in basketball. But I think for anyone who's involved in this process, like, dude, you can take it wherever you want to go, right? Like, and some of my clients come to me, it's like, they say like, oh, do you think I could do this or do you think I do that? And I always like refer them to where I learned it from, was like books or speak to someone who's doing it, right? Like there's no reason why if you want to be a basketball humor person, you can't reach out to BDOT and say, hey, do you want to jump on an interview? I'd love to, you know, learn from you. And I think that's one of the small things that people aren't executing on. I gotta do this. So, right, don't be afraid to ask. Afraid to ask. Right, so Nate, if you want to join on this Jamboard Live, at the end of my sessions, I do a Q&A. You could go to blendlogic.com/livejam. Links.blendlogic.com/livejam will take you to this Jamboard that I'm currently writing. Google Jamboard, pretty cool thing. Anyone could write whatever they want to write. I use it for my QA sessions at the end, totally up to you. But someone messaged me. Right, so in terms of like using Instagram influencers, if like a big thing that people come to me is like, dude, that they're afraid, like they think that they don't have money, so to speak, right? They don't have the resources to pay for a team to execute, right, or to do these things. And one of the things I wanted to bring up is like to show you guys, like even like I was at that spot too, right? So this is where social media goes in the funnels, and then it typically goes to like a lead page, right? Like there's no reason why you can't do all this yourself. And one of the reasons why I do a lot of stuff myself, but I mean I do have a team, is because like I just want to show you like like there's no team here for me doing this live stream. Right, it's just me and a camera, and at most you don't need the same camera I have. Just use your phone, and they call this concept like minimal viable product. But like all this stuff that I'm showing you guys that I've trained, like I've done live training on, like how I do my live streams and how I have a checklist, and I make sure that the checklist is done, right? And then like I assign my teammates to do this, but you know, sometimes it doesn't get executed. But for me, it's like I have to carry on this vision of what I want to do. Like every time you have something in your head of something you want to do, it's always going to be that you're going to have to start doing it yourself first, at least, until people understand what you're doing. And so that's, I think, the beauty of going live, at least in my opinion, is the ultimate form of showcasing what you're about. because when I'm live now, like there's no editing, right? There's no barrier, right? I just announced to Nate, like, you know, I acknowledged his chat, right? So there's nothing for me to hide, and I think everyone should try to be shooting to get lives, right? I'm building off something that I saw like Gary Vee do when he was doing his daily vlogs. It's like, okay, why don't I just do a daily live vlog or something to that effect, right? And so, like, you guys can, if you really wanted it, right? If you really wanted to, whatever you guys are trying to do, like, you could use Trello, or just watch the previous video where I do like these trainings on how to use Slack and how to assign it to people. And if my interns or people don't do it, then I have to do it myself, right? Here's my Toggle app that I use to track all of my time. Right? There's a reason why I'm purposely showing this to you, right? Is because people come to me and they say, oh, I can't afford it or I can't do it. Then like, you have to do sweat equity, right? Something's got to give. If you don't have the money to do this stuff, then you got to spend the time to learn it. And that's it. There's like no excuses. There's no like other way, right? If there's another way, I would be telling you guys that. But in my experience, you know, all the things I had in my head of what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do only came from me going heads down and being like, okay, like, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have the money, so I got to do it myself. And, you know, this is the execution of me attempting that. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys, is like, whoever's watching this, either you're watching it now on live or hashtag team replay, whatever that you guys view this, is like, dude, if you, I know there's people out there who have that vision of what they can make their content, and they're just wondering, like, how did that guy do it? Like, I promise you, there's no hack, there's no shortcut. It's just like, you just learn every day and get better, like 1% better every day. But like, the aims for this video, like, to go back into, besides that rant, is like, okay, so how does he get money, right? Or how does he pay to do this, like, all the time? And so one thing I told you is like Instagram influencers. So there, if I bet, like, I don't know if I could see it, like, there might be sponsored links here. So like, this guy may have paid him to collaborate, right? He was just on his Twitter. I'm not sure. This might be no. This could be a sponsored post. Like, yeah, maybe these people are paying him to wear his product or to shout out to him, right? So there's a video, actually, if you guys are in Jordan Lawley's Trainer's Guide to Success, one of the last videos he talks about is how, you know, to do influencer deals. Of course, Jordan is an influencer, but, you know, people get paid like $1,000, $2,000 to make a single post. Like, this is probably a sale to Loot Crate, right? 71,000 people. And so you guys are wondering, like, okay, so this is something you could do and take it like professionally and try to build up your brand influence so that you could start bringing in cash flow from just your profile and be like an influencer. Of course, what I talk about is like, from a full stack, is that you ideally what you want to be doing is have social media and you lead them to your website and you lead them to like Facebook ads and retargeting and all that stuff. But what BDOT is doing is that it's only this top level that he's executing on, which is fine. I mean, it's working for him now. But yeah, if you guys are like, what I wanted to say is like, I've shared before how you could take it to another level. And especially for like my basketball trainers and digital marketing ballers group, you know, if you think you need to reach out to BDOT, then feel free to, and see what his rates are, see what it's like to use it. But just be sure that with your analytics right now, if people go to your Instagram, how many people from your Instagram are going to some kind of funnel where people pay you, right? And so that's like the disconnect that a lot of people have, is they just think like, oh, let me get on Oprah, or let me get on the Ellen Show, or let me like pay people to give me a shout out, but they don't have their own analytics set up to like where it makes sense that, okay, if BDOT gets like 11,000 views per post. Let's see out here. He's still in Atlanta. When was this? A day ago? Yeah. Then like, how many people are going to, like, how many people from that profile are going to go into my page, and what's my conversion rate of my own profile? Right. So that's why you have to, like, I always tell them, my clients, like, dude, don't like put the best material out there that you can. Stop worrying about like what's the least amount to get SEO or what's the least amount to do like a 1-minute Instagram clip, and just like put like every day, just always be grinding to be putting out better material. So what's the next thing I was going to talk about? Grow your brand. Influencers grow your brand. Yeah, like make sure, I'm going to end this topic here at 26, 29. Like make sure you guys have good analytics and you know that it would be worth it to pay someone, or you know that it's you know, value add. Hashtag live for people joining live. Hashtag team replay. So let me make a Twitch marker. End BDOT discussion. All right, so how to improve your funnel or get people to buy, right? So for those of you new or unaware of what funnels are, like social media should be the top level of your funnel, but it should always lead to some kind of like squeeze page or landing page. So I'm going to show you guys one that we're building out for one of my clients, Score Like KD. If you guys didn't watch yesterday, KD almost brought the Warriors back. I think a 51-point effort. Was really sick. And so I use this thing called Kartra. Of course, there is there's like ClickFunnels is what it's like. It's funny that I'm using the hashtag funnel hacker because that's where it originated from. But I'm always testing like what's the right thing to use or what's the best thing to use. So right now, I am using this for one of my clients. Some of my clients are using ClickFunnels, but right. So let me show you like what you would want to do is like you take a description and you add this link to be like, okay, you could score like KD. All right. So let me bring up like it's probably here like KD scoring. KD highlights. So like this is the thing that people aren't doing, and it's just wild to me that I think it's just a lack of understanding or knowledge. But like, dude, once you guys like fully start utilizing this, right? Like I'm doing this for free, like showing you guys how to do it. Like, all right, so where's KD's yesterday's highlight? Kevin Durant. I want to like show you guys, right? So Kevin Durant went 51 for 11. If you guys follow any basketball highlights, right, there's an opportunity to put your link description here. And this guy has 80,000 followers. But one of the things you could do is like, okay, how much is this converting, right? Drew, let me tag you in this post because I want you to see this. I'm going on my own Facebook profile to comment on my own live stream so I could tag one of my clients so you could go back and watch this. Like that's how meta this is. Russell Westbrook. Let me see here at Drew Lasker. Gotta hit this part up. Okay, so been going live for 29 minutes on Facebook. Cool. So right, so we have the analytics and the conversions of everyone we send people to. And basically, like, if you have a pre-frame to this of, like, what this program is about, it could help increase conversion rates. But what people aren't doing is they don't realize that you don't need to have, like, your thing put up. You could literally just target specific YouTube videos, right? So I could just go on, like, this KD highlights, which has 66,000 views, and just put that in here in Google AdWords, and then it will appear when it loads if the guy has his thing monetized, right? So now we're gonna show an ad to KD's highlights where he scored, like he just went off, right? And people and the angle here is like when people watch highlights for the most part as a basketball player and as you know, and you gotta think about it as a marketer, dude, people are like, damn, I want to be like KD too. So if someone watches this and at the end of the video, your ad comes on and says, hey, I got a program. You want to score like KD? Boom. Here it is. Free, right? It's going to have videos. It's going to have stuff like that, XYZ, right? That is value add. And people aren't doing this stuff. It blows my mind that I have to make free content. Well, I guess it's just like people just don't look into things that much. So, right, so this is the thing that you could be doing. I've done other funnel breakdowns of how other like YouTubers or other basketball players aren't executing on this idea that just literally target the specific video where KD scores 51 points and then show this squeeze page on, right? And of course you want to be optimizing your squeeze page so that maybe you need to put videos of what the program is going to be about, or maybe you need to like execute harder or have some kind of more descriptions of what it is. But for the most part, dude, if I was some kid or I was some guy and like, I'm just thinking about it because I love basketball. It's like, dude, if I watch KD do something cool, I'm like, dude, I'm texting all my friends. I'm like, dude, I'm about to go score like KD. I'm about to go off. Even though they lost, it's like, that's how like psychology works and stuff like that. So I am talking about this part here at 31:55, give or take. Again, you guys can join at blendlogic.com, links.blendlogic.com/livejam. I'm talking about this, how to improve your funnel. One thing I just talked about was using YouTube ads. So I'm gonna put that here. Targeted YouTube ads. All right, so that is one way that you can make money. The other thing you have to think about is from BDOT's perspective, right? Why is he not selling his ads? Like, why is he not, if he's just doing Instagram ads, right? Like whoever Loot Crate is, why is he not using, like, when hoopers hoop when they're high? Okay. I mean, there could be like a marijuana company that would want to have a link here, right? So that is something that he could do to make more money from his existing influence, right? Or another thing is like, dude, a lot of people are selling courses, right? I've done my breakdown on I Love Basketball, and he does it perfectly in my opinion, right? So you have to understand, like, there's so many ways you could take this and execute better. That, you know, in my opinion, there's always like ways to be strategic about how to make money online or how to do strategic like Facebook ads or partnerships. So I think this was the video where he went famous. I had it up. I guess we could watch it. I think it's pretty funny.
Not called. Not called.
4, 5, 5.
Yeah.
This is where I hoop. This is CRC, so I don't know when this was posted, like a year ago. This can't be the one where Westbrook retweeted, because he retweeted in 2015.
Wow. 1,
Not called.
3,
Not called.
4, 5, 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
1,
Not called.
3,
Not called.
4, 5, 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
1,
Not called.
3,
Not called.
4, 5.
Shout out Marietta Street.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does this actually work? And what does it help?
Whole time, guys, this whole time I was muted. No one told me. Oh else. There was a lot of us talking about, I don't know when I was muted or when I wasn't muted. So GG myself. I played myself. Basically, if you could pick up what I was talking about from the videos, there's people who use like YouTube and have huge followings. He doesn't show his following at Devin the Lab. I think has like 1 million followers on YouTube. And like this is his latest video he posted. And so what he should be doing is he should be executing that. He should be linking some kind of squeeze page, some kind of ball handling program himself, or he should be looking for people who already have a course and say, hey, I'll put your link in the description below if you want to like pay me money or do some kind of partnership deal. Hopefully this whole thing wasn't muted. So I'm gonna do like a quick recap. Influencers grow your brand. So yeah, BDOT run has over 2 million reach with BDOT and his Instagram, which has 1.6 million followers. What he's doing from a business level is that he is, what's he doing? He's using like sponsorship ads. So people pay anywhere from like $1,000 to $5,000 to put this, just a link of someone else's profile. Right. So if you guys are trying to grow your brand, trying to find new ways to make money, this is an opportunity you guys could execute on by growing your personal Instagram to sell like almost like a billboard. And then what I was just talking about with Devin in the Lab is like, dude, here it is, right? This is a video that he did that has 3.32 million views, and he is not using the YouTube descriptions to make like to sell it, right? So if you're trying to get into this space, you're trying to make more money selling courses or selling basketball training programs like my client is, you have to test this at least and be confident that your conversion rates are worth the amount of money you're willing to spend on YouTube, right? So if people see that ad and you make it engaging and then they go to your funnel to have all the steps in place to make people convert. So I'm gonna do a write out on this page to be like audio muted until, what was it, like 40 minutes? So anyone watching this video, skipping, being like, yo, what the heck, like I wasn't talking. I accidentally had my mic muted. GG me. But yeah, that's how it is sometimes. When you go on live stream or your one-man production, like you guys aren't gonna have perfect shows, and the point is to get better, right? So I'm not too worried about it because I've been doing live streams for a while now, and I'm confident in like, right, again, Abundance Mentality. It's a great book that you guys should read. Is that, dude, I messed up a live stream today, but there's things I could get better on tomorrow and the next day and the next day after that, right? So the value, the concepts are the same. That there's just, right, like Chris, you're wondering, I'm going to address this to Chris, the last guy I played basketball with, was like, dude, how does he make money? Well, just like Jordan Lawley does, people pay to get links on, like a chance for them to, that's funny, pro cuddler, a chance to see their profile on someone who has a bigger profile. And if you're wondering how, like what's the concept behind that, where was it? Like, right, BDOT did the same thing with Russell Westbrook. Twitter, right? He got Russell Westbrook to retweet him for free. Right, so there's no reason why any of you guys can't work on a brand and work on what Nate said. He said, gotta have that customer journey mapped out, where if someone clicks on this thing, they're gonna see, or that's Russell Westbrook, they're gonna see BDOT's Twitter profile and then either want to subscribe to him or you're in a position where, like, what happened to him is he started going on like Ellen's show and he started going on ESPN and getting interviewed. Right, and then it was just more exposure, more and more and more exposure, and people go on his profile and they're like, I want to subscribe to this because this guy's funny, right? And that is value, right? And not only that, I've explained this before, is like, I think when people get mad when they see, you know, how people have quote unquote made it by getting it on YouTube, right? Again, in the beginning of this video, I explained that BDOT started being Vine famous. And before being Vine famous, he worked his butt off to be able to play professionally. Like, I saw him play on Wednesday, and he's like really freaking good at basketball, right? And it's this idea that you have to grind, that you're not going to get better at basketball, you're not going to get better at videos, you're not going to get better at live streaming unless you spend the time, put in the reps and sets to perfect your craft and get to a point where you're good enough to start getting paid, right? When I first started doing web designs, like, I was working for free. I wasn't good enough yet. I don't have a problem with admitting that, right? Everyone goes through that, where you're just a rookie, and then you join the JV team, then you become varsity, and then you go pro, right? Like, but you have to go through the grind of just executing and practicing and working towards getting better. And so, like, that's what this whole thing has been about, and this is why I'm making these live streams for people to see, is that there's this idea or this illusion, right, where people can't understand, and they're like, I had to go to like, what I really think it is that the frameworks in their mind don't allow them to accept the reality of what it is right now, is because for them it's like they have to go to college so that they could join a career, so they could work however long they work, 9 to 5, and that's the only way to get money. And when someone's doing it a way that isn't what you were like is in your mind as the only way to get money, then you're gonna like reject that people could get money another way, because it's too hard on your ego to be like, it looks like what BDOT's doing is funner than what I'm doing, so I'm like, you throw rocks at them, or like like YouTube or any guy, they're gonna go through it because that's what's happening. Is that it's too painful to realize that like there was another option, right? And even for myself, like, I went through it. Like, studying at Georgia Tech was no easy feat. I spent like nights sometimes staying up till 2 so I could cram for an exam. But I'm not mad at like the time that I spent studying, because I leverage it now for my own business here in Blend Logic. But I mean, it is what it is, right? And now that I'm aware of it, you like, look at this transformation I've done. Like, I'm speaking to my Facebook Live groups, I am networking, I'm putting it all out there so that someone else who sees this years later or watching it live right now is gonna be like, dude, I get it. Like, if I wanted it, I could do it too, right? And so everything you're seeing here with these like live transitions, screen share, it's like all stuff that I'm doing as a one-man show, right? And that's like probably one of the biggest limiting beliefs I've seen in people, is like believing you need to have resources to make it happen. And so I don't know if I was muted. I showed you guys like the Trello, the Slack, right? It just takes relentlessness and pure strategic planning of your day, of your life, what you want to be, and just like execute it. If you guys really wanted it, you would be doing it, right? And that's kind of the mindset I have now, is like, I told myself like, oh, I could be something cool or something big, or like a motivational speaker like Tony Robbins. But in my head, it was just in my head, and no one knew of that dream until I like announced it live on YouTube, on whatever this is, like Facebook. And this is my personal profile. This is the first time I've posted on my personal profile. And 2, it's like, yeah, you'll get to see it, right? You'll get to watch as I get better and as I start networking with more people, like just a consistent grind. And so if some person watches it years from now, they'll be like, oh, that's what it was. It was just reps and sets and nothing else, right? So again, like, one of the reasons I want to do BDOT is because he's doing it in humor, right? And so some of you guys, like my clients, like Mike, or any of the ones that work, like Lysandra, it's like, dude, if he could do it with like being funny, right, that should be the ultimate permission for you to be like, dude, I can take my brand wherever I want to take it. Whether you want to be serious all the time or like me. Like some people, my brother watches, he reads the stuff I put out there, which has improper grammar, or I started this live stream listening to Lion King, and again, it's that same framework. Like, oh, I gotta help him, because if he's gonna try and take his business bigger, it's gotta be serious, or it's gotta have proper grammar all the time. And it's not possible to not be perfect, right? I just literally messed up on this live stream and was muted for however long I was muted. I don't know how long I was muted for, but it doesn't matter, right? It's not about winning right now, today, 2018, November 30, right? It's about getting better. And so this is like the stuff I feel compelled to share with my audience, to share with people. It's like, dude, this right here can change your life, dude. Campaigns and targeted YouTube ads, ISO ball, like make it, dude, just, if anyone watches this, please make a course on balling and like Steph Curry tennis program, target this video that has 3.32 million ads, make split test variations of your ads so that you can get the highest conversion, split test everything, and then leave a comment on my post, be like, hey, I watched your video about targeted Google ads. I'm a basketball trainer. What up? Yeah, guys, like I guess the last thing I want to leave you with is why again, so much understanding of scaling and systems. It's like this video that you watch, when you watch it on replay, is the same video that someone elsewhere in the world will watch. But I've checked my Facebook analytics. I have people like in third world countries watching some of my videos. I don't know why, but it's the same video, right? And so when you go in like this framework, let me use the Jamboard, right? Like, how do they make money? How do they make money? Where is the fourth one? Yo, it's not working. Google Jamboard failing me. Here we go. I got a backup though. Share my. Oh, there it is. Cool. Right, like, what is this opportunity called digital marketing and stuff like that, right? So I guess the best analogy I could leave you guys with is like, dude, like CDs or rappers or, right? It's the front side loaded model, right? Like, why does Shakira or I don't know, any top musician make millions of dollars? It's because their one album, which they spent years recording and perfecting, when people listen to it on a CD, right, or an MP3, that is scalable, right? Or like they're not playing to one crowd, right? Even if you pay for a ticket to see them in person, like the business model of that is like, dude, there's a stadium full, and they're using their 1 hour or 2 hours to say or to sing their song, and multiple people get to hear it. So if you could correlate that to how does BDOT make money, right? Where's his profiles, right? Because his video, right? And you have, this is an opportunity for you guys, right? I don't know why people see it as like, oh, it's crowded or it's saturated space. It's like, there's only one you. There's only one Alan Afferetti. Like, whatever market or target audience I'm going for, there's only one of me that can make these videos. Right, and so this one video that was posted 3 days ago has 47,000 views. It's the same concept as like basketball, or even a bigger one that I think who I want to target is like programmers, right? Like those are like the ultimate people I met from tech. And I remember like some of the people I met who, the way I ran some of my honor clubs and stuff was like very laissez-faire, and they had the mindset of like, oh, I gotta be studious, I gotta be a straight A student. And I don't like the way Alan runs this club. I make fun of them, but it's like, you know, they're smarter than me. I'll give them that. But like a programmer writes code, right? And the code does the same thing over and over and over again. Right? Some of you guys are like want to run, like, our basketball trainers and hit me up and it's like, oh, I want to make the next app, right? It's like, dude, it doesn't matter about the app, right? If one, you have to be a really good coder, and if you are a good coder, then just like make it. Two, if you don't know technology, like, there's no barrier, so to speak. I mean, okay, like, that's a limiting belief. Like, okay, if you want to make a code, make an app, like, go make an app, and it could take you some. There's an opportunity cost to learning, right, at whatever age you are to learn how to program, right? But in terms of like video, like, dude, most of you guys have iPhones or some kind of camera that could record what I'm doing right now, and if not, like, a good DSLR is like $500. Nothing is stopping you guys from making content and just practicing, quote unquote, making code, which is in digital marketing, videos, right? And then, like, you know, as you get into it and more involved, like, one of the things that will carry you into taking it to the next level is to not be so, like, not trying to win in terms of like from a money standpoint, and win from an angle like, how many people can I help? Right, so that's why I restream on multiple platforms, even to Twitch, because there could be some gamer dude who looks at my content and be like, I could have done it too, or I could have done something, right? I could have streamed on Twitch consistently and became a streamer, or I could have, something, right? And again, I'm going to quote the thing from Jordan Lawley, because I listened to this podcast from David Nurse. See if I can bring that up. Cool guy, 1%er, guys. You want to be a 1%er? You got to listen to this podcast. But in that podcast, I think it's like Game of Life, David Nurse. Jordan brings him on, has a really good quote that I like. It's that Sunday through Monday, there is no someday. All right, like someday in my head, I was like, I'm gonna launch my podcast. I'm gonna launch my vlog. I'm gonna launch my stuff. Like, dude, I've known how to do this stuff for like years, and I never did it. And you guys probably have something in your head that you want to, right? And I guess there's a lot of things that have got me to this point of like starting to do it consistently. But I think one of the biggest things was coming to terms with where I was at and how like my mindset of what I could be wasn't actually making what I am better. Right? The illusion of me having it all, right, was in my head of like, oh yeah, I know how to do live streams. I know how to do all this stuff, right? And I'm gonna make it one day. Right? And I think some of you guys probably resonate with that. But yeah, like, look, my first live stream blogging came in November, right? And there's no one else that was stopping me from doing it but myself. And so I highly encourage you guys to just like put something out there, start learning digital marketing, start learning this opportunity to make a scalable product, and like read some more books, guys. Like there's a good book by Weintraub. When I'm dead, you'll know. Something like that. When I stop talking, you'll know I'm dead. I believe this was a guy. I've read a lot of books. This is a guy who took out there's a dude who took out Elvis. Yeah, cool. This book, this is what I want to put on the resources. Put this on resources team. This book right here. When I stop talking, you'll know I'm dead. Dude, you want to know a story, like besides all these other books, like, you want to know a story of pure relentlessness and just willingness to grind. Dude, this mother, oh, beep. Dude, this guy called Elvis manager and said, hey, I want to take Elvis out for a year straight at 5 a.m. in the morning. And then after a year of calling Elvis's manager, the guy's like, okay, I'll let you take Elvis out on tour, but you're going to need to come up with $1 million cash or whatever, right? By like this weekend, right? So imagine having this dream of something you want to accomplish. You call this guy up every day, and then all of a sudden you're like, crap, I don't have the money to do it. And if you read that book, he's like, dude, he called everyone. And like in the last day of just calling everyone he could to try to get $1 million, he finally connected with one guy who owned a radio station who was fans of Elvis and wrote him a check for $1 million. Right? And so to me, it's like, dude, that's such a crazy story. And if that guy did it in a time when there was no YouTube, no Facebook Live, no, XYZ, right? I have an intern from the UK. That's crazy to me, right? Like if this guy can just have a vision and just call someone every day and take Elvis out on tour, you guys can make one simple video of why people should get to know your basketball training business or something along those lines, right? Like, hearing stories and autobiographies of how people crushed adversity is probably like one of the biggest things that got me to a point where I am right now, where I'm like, dude, I need to shut the hell up. I don't have any reason to not make Facebook ads or not make Facebook videos. There's nothing stopping me but myself. And so hopefully that helps you guys in the Ballers group on my Facebook profile. Right? I don't know if people are going to watch this because of the muted audio, but YOLO. So that has been my breakdown. Russell Westbrook retweet gone viral. Funnel hacking on BDOT. Yeah, bro. So if I tag BDOT, I'm not sure if I will or not, or he sees this video. I've actually been doing like a basketball entrepreneur interview series. So I've got Jordan Lawley. Actually, when I met you on Wednesday, I should have mentioned I actually interviewed Devin from Evolve Basketball, So I've gotten way better at interviews. Love to have you on so you could share your story. Hit me up, man. It's going to be something of this format of what you watched here. And yeah, my man, everyone else watching on the Baller Group, like if I get an interview with him or not, right, there's still other things on my list of what I want to share with the group, such as the Tesla series, right? How to get a Tesla, or how to be like a guy or woman, whatever, a person who deserves or can afford a Tesla, and what it takes to go to that level. And I got other series I want to drop for you guys. So I'm F. Ready from Blend Logic Designs. Don't know if I have any Q&A sessions, but so be it. See you guys in the next video live stream. Peace out, guys.